Sounds good to me.
All right. My first question, and hopefully the chat gets involved with this question as well. Do we think 22 Phil has done enough to get an upgrade in title?
To get an upgrade in title, what, from 22? You were the only one calling him 22 Phil.
Nah, you called him 22 Phil as well.
Like one time.
You called him 22
like
Phil.
all of one time.
Does he deserve an upgrade yet?
Bro, he been deserved to upgrade, bro. You the only one disrespecting him. See, you the one that need to come
I'm not
along.
disrespecting. I'm not.
You the one need to catch up.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying, paying homage to Uncle Phil.
You put my boy on hiatus from the jump.
Okay.
From jump.
I'll upgrade him.
Respect him.
He is now known as New Uncle Phil. So he's got Uncle in the title, but he's not Uncle Phil yet. Are we cool with that?
Hey, bro, I'm already on Uncle Phil. So when you catch up, let me know.
Oh, okay. All right. So, catering company claims that they triple booked for Lisa's mom's event, so now the Banks need help. Will is getting roasted by all his friends back home on social media, which I know he's a kid, so like it feels real, but like
shout out to the comments in the chat for leveling that out for me, because for the life of me, I could not understand why boy was so emotional, but remembering that these are teenagers is a perspective that kind of fell off on me a little bit watching this show. So it kind of puts it in perspective. It makes it a little bit more realistic for Trey to be acting like this. Now, the social media hate campaign still a little strong.
Especially when he's in a completely different city than them.
Like, fam, bro.
A little weird.
You look mad tight right now. Ain't that what they would say in New York? Son, you look mad tight, son.
He's from Philly.
You look mad tight.
He's from Philly, bro.
No, they're not saying that there. Boy, you look mad tight, boy.
Bull tight. Nut ass freak bull.
There you go. Okay.
That's gonna come up later in this episode. I just want to let you know. Fair warning. All right. So not so sure why Will is mad at Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil during all this, but he bounces the ball and takes it out on the poor vase. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on with bro? For no reason.
He was upset. Nah, I mean, it was a reason. He wasn't really mad at them.
But why is he upset at them? It seemed
he's not. He's not mad at them. He's mad at the world because he's getting drugged on the internet, and that is the worst thing in the world to happen to you when you're a teenager. So he's emotional.
Okay. All right.
So he's emotional. He's emotional as hell.
Okay. All right.
Uncle Phil had a funny ass line in that exchange, though. He was like, "I just want space." Like, nigga, we in a mansion. You ain't got nothing but space. What you need to do is take some of that bass out your voice, pimp.
Facts.
Now that's what you need to do.
So the Black Ass brothers come in and ruin Hillary's video that she's shooting. They tell her that she needs to. I think everybody's tired of them already. Especially after the fucking prank. Whatever. They let her know that she needs to get a move on her video because she doesn't want to hear from Kylo, who apparently doesn't play about social media deadlines.
Dog, what mental disease does he have? What drugs is he on? What drugs are you using? This bro
was like a bill collector the entire time.
You're going to suffer social media death if you don't post like 24 hours. Hey, no, side note though, that it feels like that maybe to a certain degree at some point creating content, but dog, that's not real. That's not real. Like you're not going to lose your fucking subscribership because you didn't post for one day. Like, bro, he was tripping. He was nuts for that.
He was on the phone like a bill collector, bro. Like, can you chill out? I'm with my family for one day. Just chill out.
Like, bro, I'm already living in this house with you. I already let your boys run ass naked through my damn crib. like, relax, Fabio. Like, relax for a second.
Yikes.
Sax's little brother over there bugging out.
Aunt Viv is delegating tasks, and instead, new Uncle Phil is pulling Jeffrey away for something important for the campaign, but he's super secretive about what it could be about. Lisa walks in and tries to say hi to Will, who basically gives her the cold shoulder because of the whole bullshit with Carlton. Any thoughts on that whole dynamic now?
So with Carlton continuing to be a goddamn sucker. I felt like Will was cool. He was handling himself the way he was supposed to, at least with Carlton.
Yeah.
Up until a little later with an exchange with Lisa, I'm sure you'll probably bring up. But for the most part, I thought he was keeping it together. Right, all things considered.
Yeah.
Jeffrey. So I wish they would start showing us where the fuck Jeffrey be going. Because it's such a mystery. Like, what is he doing? Why is he gone?
Is Agent 47, bro. He's 007, Agent 47 from Hitman. That's Jeffrey.
Like, bro, you keep telling me that you own it and that you already ahead of shit. But like every time I feel like we need you, you don't be around. Like when homeboy is sniffing around the goddamn house and finds her goddamn paintings. Jeffrey!
That was a little nuts.
Jeffrey! This nigga walking around the house, man. Jeffrey!
Imagine clapped at him like he's still the butler. He is a hitman.
No.
No.
At that point in time, we needed to go back to Butler Jeffrey because he clearly was not on his P's and Q's. He was not on his shit because why is this man in here?
Hell no.
Where the hell you at, property manager? Why are you not managing the prop? Hey, he is a property manager that don't do no managing of the property. He don't manage shit about that house.
He manages the streets. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Why do Uncle Phil need somebody to manage the streets?
Don't ask me.
What the hell do he got going on?
I couldn't tell you, bro. Couldn't tell you.
All right, bro.
Hillary finally gets her first call from Kylo where he explains the 24-hour exodus. And then he makes a joke about a Family Matters reboot, which, okay, we get it. We're in a Bel-Air reboot. Got it, man. Somebody just commented, so does Hillary have an OnlyFans now? We'll get to that in a little bit.
Dog, I was so upset.
We'll get to that in a little bit. We will get to that in a second.
Not a hot tub stream. No.
Moving on. Lisa is extremely distracted during rehearsals and claims that nothing has gone well since her mom passed, especially since her dad basically married within a year of passing, which is super nuts. It also seems as if Lisa isn't the only one torn up over their current situation, as Will seems upset that he sees Carlton and Lisa holding hands.
Side note, doesn't dude look like Braxton from Jamie Foxx show?
Yes.
Her dad looks just like Braxton, right? Yep. Oh man, it's so accurate.
He's like a little bit darker skin, but other than that, he's Braxton.
Bro, he's a slime ball. You know, you wanted to feel bad for him for half a second because his wife died, but then first of all, you committed the ultimate sin. You know what I'm saying? And you stepped out of your circle to go find your next companion.
Man, so what?
You already know they was gonna be on you about that.
Here she is dying of lupus, and you already
we rushing.
We rushing the episode. We rushing the episode. Let me work.
Yo, he pissed somebody off. It was like, all right, look what we about to do to your character.
Oh shit. Anyway, I hated this part. I absolutely hated this part because it's a little craziness going on. It seems like you might be right about something.
Talk about that shit. Talk about it. Talk about that shit.
So according to a convo between Hillary and Ashley that was conveniently cut off by new Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv and Vi stopped talking for a certain amount of time, and it seemed to be about Will, which gives the slightest bit of credence to what you've been trying to predict.
I'm not saying that it's happening. I'm just saying they throwing a lot of Easter eggs out there and something's happening. You know what I'm saying? If there's something there, I can't. We don't got all the pieces to the puzzle yet, but there's some sort of beef. Now that it's confirmed, there's some sort of beef between Viola and Vivian that dates back years and has something to do with Will. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Whatever it is, they ain't supposed to be talking about it because Uncle Phil got him up out of that conversation real quick.
He did. But that's something we'll find out probably towards the end of the season. Bro, we only have what, 4 episodes left? That's kind of nuts to think about.
It went fast. Then at least first. Well, they gave us the first 2.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah. First 3. Yeah, the first 3 episodes. So damn.
Yeah. Also, turns out that the Times has pulled their endorsement, and new Uncle Phil has Jeffrey. Wait, what? What did I write here? I don't even know what my notes are saying. Anyway,
He had
so
Jeffrey
apparently,
investigate why it happened.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on him losing his Times endorsement? Do you think it's maybe because of his comments on defund the police?
Dog, I knew exactly what the fuck was going on and where we was gonna be at by the end of this episode when he told him that the Times pulled the endorsement. And then I really knew that it was happening when Jeffrey came back to him and was like, he whispered something to him and he was like, "Oh, you sure? You sure?"
Yeah.
He like, "Well, fuck it. Full steam ahead then." I knew it. I could see it. Right? The Times pulled their endorsement. Well, obviously it has something to do with the defund the police statements, but it's not all that, right? Somebody powerful must have gotten to them and convinced them not to endorse right now, right? So that was number 1. Then when he came back, Jeffrey obviously came back with the answer as to why that happened. And so who's the most powerful person in Uncle Phil's orbit that would have been able to persuade the LA Times or the New York Times from or the Times, excuse me, from giving their endorsement early, right? Maybe a black police chief in LA. Maybe we gotta sit back and wait and see who rises out of that competition, right? So I was like, damn, bro, he snaked him on the thing. Now, did I think that he was going to run against him? I did not think it was going that far.
No,
I definitely thought he was going to try to get the endorsement pulled. I definitely thought he was going to try to run some interference once he started switching up his rhetoric. And he honestly, are we talking about this? We're going to talk about the whole conversation between them?
No, let's hold off.
Okay. All right.
Marte would like us to talk about how how Jazz is basically Jason Weaver from Smart Guy, from ATL, Michael Jackson.
He definitely looks like Jason Weaver.
He
definitely looks like Jason Weaver.
He kind of is, low key. What else we got? Will is Uncle Phil's kid. I don't know about that.
I can see that. I can definitely.
It's possible.
But
you think it's possible that Will is Uncle Phil's kid?
Well, but no, because think about the dialogue that they had earlier on, right? Where they were talking, and like this was like the first episode when Will first got there. And she was like, or Uncle Phil was like, my heart has been yearning for that boy ever since his father. And then he stopped. So he knows who his father is. And then also Will said in this episode that he don't necessarily remember his father because he left when he was 4, but he knows enough of him to know that it ain't goddamn Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's Uncle Phil. I think he's somebody else's baby. Let's just say this. The odds are that Will is not Viola's son. Let's just say that. Right now, it's seeming like the odds are that Will is not Viola's son. So I'm going to just throw it out there. That's where I'm going to hang it at. I don't know who his mama is. But, interesting thing, though, about that, since we're talking about Will's father, there's one MFer who's sniffing around this house who I, for the life of me, cannot understand why. And so I feel like there's a connection there. I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know how timeline-wise all of this would have happened. But I'm telling you, Homeboy is not in this show just to be some fucking offshoot love interest. He got other stuff to do. So if Michael Ealy is in this production, it ain't to be some side dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Look.
Okay. All right. Also, Rose seems to think that you're correct about your theory, which we'll move on. It seems like Aunt Viv's sorority sister is a little thirsty.
Hold on, bro. You're not gonna shout out your bro? You're not gonna shout out your brother?
What I miss?
What up, Leighton? He was at the very top of the chat. Yeah.
Oh no, I think that's my dad.
Oh, what's up, OG? Oh yeah, what's up, Mr. Leighton?
Anyway, so it would seem that Aunt Viv's sorority sister is super thirsty for Jeffrey, but not as thirsty as everybody is for Michael Ealy.
Bruh, why are you at my crib? Why are you here? And why are you so comfortable that you just walking around looking for stuff? Why are you all up in here, man?
Well, actually, I don't think we've gotten to that part yet. Hold on, hold that thought, because I got some shit for that scene.
He got to go bat them eyes somewhere else, fam. Michael Ealy is not allowed in my house. He's just not. Why here? He's not allowed in here.
Unsupervised.
You can't come in here while my girl here, fam. You gotta go.
Lisa's stepmom is white. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I already gave you my thoughts on that, fam. Look, honestly, you love who you love. That's your thing. Like my purview is that I was going to marry a black woman, so that's not in my perspective. But you love what you love. That's on him. Now the situation for him makes it look so much worse.
Yeah, not while she's sick, bro.
Fam, she died a little over a year ago, and you already married and expecting another baby. It's just like I know sometimes, like if somebody's really, really, really sick and they already know, kind of what the prognosis is. Maybe they worked that out. Maybe they were like, yeah, I can honestly see that being a part of his arc. Like everybody thinks that he just ran off and cheated on his wife, which is absolutely nuts if that's how that played out. But maybe they had a conversation like, look, I'm not going to make it. I want you to be happy. I want you and Lisa to move on, go out and, start preparing yourself for life without me. I don't know. I'm trying to give him a lot of bail here. I'm trying to give him the most amount of bail I possibly can. Because it sounds like you were cheating on your dying wife as she was going out.
Yeah. That's basically what I got from it.
Yeah.
Polo Boy seems to think that he likes her. He thought she was cool at least. He didn't think that she was too bad at least.
I feel like I don't feel like she had malice. She didn't have any malintent. But what she was trying to do was too much. It's like, man, this situation is not for you. I understand you feel like an outsider, you having trouble bonding with Lisa, but the way you going about it is pushing her further away. You know what I mean? And I think people in general can fall into that. That doesn't necessarily have to be a white thing of just doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Filling a space that you're not really supposed to be in because you want to be closer to people. That's not necessarily how that goes. This was an intimate space for Lisa to have way through her emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there and like how her husband is dry-eyed through all of this is nuts. That looks fucking terrible. Your daughter up there struggling to get through a speech and you dry-eyed as hell. You show more concern for Carlton not being up there than you did for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But and anyways, about old girl, yeah, I don't think she had any malintent. I just think she's a little privileged and she was trying to insert herself into something that she didn't necessarily need to be a part of.
Fair enough. Speaking of the little scene that they had amongst each other, if I remember correctly, OG Carlton, he never had Stanford anywhere on his list. It was Princeton or bust, and then he didn't get into Princeton. And so he had to go to the school with Will.
I feel like the way Carlton's life going right now, especially by the way that it ended, I feel like that's probably going to happen. Only now it's going to be all the colleges. It's going to be Stanford. It's going to be Princeton. It'll probably be USC, UCLA. Everybody's going to be out on Carlton. And then he has to pivot. Now he has to find a new path because he was just sure he was going to go to one of these 5-star, universities.
Ivy League
universities. Well, USC isn't. Neither is UCLA. Most of those I named aren't.
No, he had Princeton and then he had Stanford.
Well, right. Okay, so yeah, those two are literally. I was just saying of the ones that I named.
Oh, I got you.
But yeah, he has this expectation of going to these big schools and doing big things. With shit, my bad. But when that doesn't pan out, how does he then work it? You know, how does he pivot now? You know,
Got you.
I think that will end up being part of his arc in this show.
I got you. Ashley brings Lucia to the event. Hillary doesn't immediately pick up on the hint and gets it after a moment. I know Aunt Viv is the mom, but after Hillary gets Ashley to realize she's a queen, bam,
She was
bro,
full steam ahead, huh?
you know what I mean? Like that's she seems like almost like the motherly person because Aunt Viv seems like she's all on her own between art and everything else that's going on in that
She
way.
don't even know. She don't even know her daughter is entertaining anybody like that right now. Her and her husband, her and Phil, they are kind of they're telling the story of the forgotten child right now, right? So like they putting so much energy into their grown children, into Carlton and Ashley. So much attention is going to them. Plus they got attention going to the campaign. Plus Vivian got her stuff going on with her art. Plus they got all this stuff going on with Will. Ashley is getting lost in the wash. And her only recourse or her only guidance right now is coming from Hillary because Hillary the only one that got time for her.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah, they are telling the story of like the forgotten child through Ashley's eyes because she's not getting the attention that she probably should from her parents right now because they're being pulled in so many other directions. Ashley's getting left out. Keep doing this shit.
White stepmom keeps trying to find a way and connect with Lisa, despite the fact that Lisa and Aunt Viv don't want it. Will steps in to try to diffuse the situation between Aunt Viv and White stepmom, but then White stepmom says, and I quote, "They took you in, right?" Which makes Will sound like a stray dog. Like,
Fam,
chill out, like,
fam.
relax.
Now, now that one's kind of hard for me not to say it didn't have no malice in it. Like, man, what are you talk? Why? Why is that worth mentioning right now? I don't.
Anyway, that's when we find out that White stepmom has at least known bro for a year before she passed. Lisa's mom passed.
Real quick before we get to that one, she knows that Will was taken in by their by Viv and Phil.
Yep.
If you about to get into a race against Philip Banks, what would be your first avenue? How would your first avenue go into digging into Phil? What would be the first thing you begin to question? Would it be this random family member that just started living with him out of nowhere in the last few months?
Yeah, especially when I have the times.
Right. So I'm like, either he already knows or he should have already known because clearly you've been discussing this with your wife, right? If she knows that enough to say it back to Will, then clearly you've discussed this with him before.
Yeah.
So he either already knows the full situation, which is going to be disastrous for that family, especially for Phil, or he should have already known, and that's a hole because how does she know and you don't?
Do you remember in the first episode when Will showed up? They had that big event in the back of the house or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was talking to two black guys.
Yeah. The one
Uncle
of them
Phil
was Wilkes, and the other one was like a I don't know what he was. I have no idea what he was just an older guy. Yeah.
The one that seemed kind of like interested in the conversation was bro.
Was Wilkes?
So,
Yeah.
I think he definitely is
he
interested in
didn't
that information.
say anything about him living there permanently or moving from Philadelphia. Like I think he mentioned that it was his nephew from Philadelphia, right? And before Will started going too much, he told him we'll talk later. Like, hey, go ahead. Jeffrey came and ushered him away before he got to going too crazy because he started thanking him like, hey, yo, thank you for this, that, and the third, blah. So Skip, he like, we'll talk later. Jeffrey got him up out of there. So he didn't say anything that would have given him the impression or would have given him the full story right then and there. But then his wife all but confirms that they know that Will was taken in by them. Now he's now living with them permanently. So I would be leaning towards he already knows the situation. He's a cop. He got access to arrest warrants. You know what I'm saying? He are not arrest warrants, but arrest records. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be far fetched to think that he already got the whole lay of the land, and that's why he got into the race because he knows he has an ultimate kill shot on Phil.
For sure. For sure. Ricky from Barbershop, aka Michael Ealy, aka Slapjack from Too Fast, Too Furious, is creeping through the house. And Viv catches him looking at her unfinished artwork. He bets
Where?
her. Oh, go ahead.
Oh wait, hold on, wait. We skipped right over. We talked about homeboy Wilkes, and we forgot about his wife telling the story about how she was smacking homeboy at the golf tournament in L.A.
That's
or
so
Palm
crazy that she
Springs.
just let that slip.
Like you're gross. Now you're gross. Now we got beef.
As hell.
Now we got beef because that's gross.
And there's a legitimate reason behind that beef.
Yeah,
like before it was kind
sure.
of petty, but now it's like, oh no, I'm on your ass. Like,
yeah, it's
what
like,
are you
oh
talking
well,
about?
you know, new stepmom and dad's showing favoritism to stepmom, and I want my real mommy back. But then it was like, oh no, you scandalous. Like she was in
As
hospice
hell.
and you was in Calabasas.
You know?
With Wilkes.
I don't think he's in Calabasas, but whatever.
Whatever, wherever he was at. Yeah, I mean, he got money. He can go where the hell he want. He's the police chief of Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Let me find out. Let me find out he's living next to Kim Kardashian.
I guarantee you, he's very well compensated.
Fair enough.
Guarantee it. He's going to fucking fundraisers in LA compounds. You know what I'm saying? He out there. He's good friends with the Bankses.
Okay, bro. All right.
They damn near neighbors.
He's right across from Kanye, just like Kim.
For sure. Across the street. He be watching them argue in the front and the lawn.
Yikes. Anyway, Michael Ealy bets Aunt Viv that her painting will get at least $15K in the auction, and if it doesn't, he'll leave her alone. If it does, she has to show her artwork in the little.
Damn, you need to leave her alone anyway. You need to get up out of there. Why are you, Jeffrey? Because Jeffrey should have been somewhere putting his hands all over this man. Why? You're snooping in the big man's house. Why are you snooping? Why are you snooping? He should have been putting him together. Why are you in here, bro?
I didn't realize that Uncle Phil didn't. I didn't realize that new Uncle Phil didn't know about him at all. Like, didn't even know
now
him.
We really need smoke because who is this mysterious blue-eyed figure coming in here and y'all talking, having private conversations, and I don't even know him? Why y'all in this room together having conversations?
Acting awkward as hell.
Right.
She forgets his name. Like,
bro. Now I'm hot. You don't know his name. Y'all was in here having this private conversation. Now you stuttering over yourself. You don't know his name. Phil, this is oh, I'm Reid. Oh, that's Reid. Oh, that you forgot his name?
Yes. You forgot,
that's
bro.
Reid. Oh, okay. All right.
See if he can read this right hook.
For real though, in all honesty, bro he's bold as shit. Like he bold as hell.
Let me go into it. Bro makes a huncho move by telling new Uncle Phil that she is going to enter the painting into the auction. New Uncle Phil didn't even know she was painting again.
I don't know if so who we mad at? We mad that Viv that she kept this part of what she was doing away from Phil for the time being because it involved homeboy? Is that what's going on? Or are we mad at Phil because he ain't really been paying attention to nobody? But it's you got your daughter out here. She having sexuality questions. You know, Hillary struggling over there at the influencer house, but she won't come home because she's too prideful. You got Will and Carlton going head to head. Carlton's about to have a goddamn mental breakdown, right? Your lady is out here batting eyes with goddamn think like a man, and you over here you entertaining a fight with Wilkes. That's where all your attention is going to right now. So I feel like both of them is a little bit to blame because I feel like the only reason why Viv didn't say anything to Phil about her painting again is because homeboy rushed out to her about curating her art again.
I would agree with that. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm not mad at Uncle Phil. I'm gonna get into it in a couple of. I gotta talk about a couple more things about this whole scene.
He's very
So
detached right now. He got a lot of shit going on that he's not paying
that's a
attention
fact.
to.
That's a fact. So the way Michael Ealy was sitting there staring at new Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv as they kissed, bro, you a
Little
nut ass
creepy.
freak ball. Nut ass freak
Look,
ball. Nut ass freak ball.
do
I'm
you
trying to
even know
tell
if
you,
you're
bro.
using that right?
Of course I
You
do.
even
I'm
know?
from Philly.
Don't lie to the audience. Don't lie to the audience.
So Michael Ealy goes to move the painting down to the auction, and new Uncle Phil says, and I quote, "Get your guest ass downstairs and do some guest
And do
shit with
some
your
guest
bitch
shit.
ass."
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say all that. I wish he would have said some shit like that. But what he said was good enough. He said, first of all, leave it, nigga, because I already told you one touching stuff in my house. I already told you one time. Now that should be enough. One time should be enough for a normal guest. But see, you a special guest. You know what I'm saying? You got light skin, you got curly hair, and you
Yeah,
got
blue eyes.
you have uncommon eye color for a black man. So I guess that privilege just allows you to walk all up through my shit, grab my wife's painting, and continue to touch it after I ask you not to. That's what you get, huh? That's what you get for Platinum Blue Jays. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to put my paws all over you, right? And like, if don't nobody stop me, don't nobody stop me. But that's where I would have been at. But see, Phil, he was cool, he was calm, he was collected. And he said some slick shit to let him know that if you don't do exactly what I'm asking you right now, I might have somebody come up here and put their paws on you.
Oh, for
I
sure.
might actually, for
Oh, for
sure.
sure. Absolutely.
He's just so bold though. Like, would he have had to even tell you that? Like after he told you, "Oh no, I'm gonna have somebody come up here and get it." Oh no, that's fine. I'll grab it. What? Maybe you didn't hear me. Leave it. Go do guest shit. Guest.
Yeah. With your bitch ass.
He could have put that on there. He should have put it on there.
You know? Carlton is missing out on one important aspect of Will and Lisa's relationship that he just doesn't have, and that's the fact that he has both parents, right? And both of them are bonding over the fact that they have lost a parent in some kind of way. On top of that, Carlton thinks making it rain will fix it, like making it rain on her whole situation. Will and Lisa continue to bond in the courtyard, not realizing that Carlton is listening from above. Any thoughts on that situation?
Well, so I think Lisa perfectly describes the dynamic that her and Carlton actually have. It's no longer like relationshipy love, it's dependence. It's like he uses my grief for my mother to get close to me, and
Like I said last week,
he
he's
thinks that
turning the
that's his
situation to the
end.
trickathon.
Yeah, he's trying to get an end off of that, off my mom, and it pisses me off. And that's we both, you know, seconding that sentiment. Like forcing somebody to like you is not a thing. You can. Oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. It's really not a thing. Like you cannot make someone like you, especially after they've already established that they're not fucking with you like that. The minute she told you that she did not want to be in a relationship with you, you got to drop it. You got to, because now you feel like you climbing up, but you are digging deeper and deeper and deeper. And at this point, Carlton he's on the fringe of full blown stalker.
Yeah,
You're like right on the cusp. You was one outbreak away from being totally deranged and committed. You know what I'm saying? So how about we just dial this back a minute, Carlton? You know what I'm saying? I think after this episode, we probably will see a bit of course correction. Not as much as we probably need to because the right people don't know about it. But I don't know. I think that with Will and Lisa, it is the fact that Will feels like he's legitimately lost his father, even though he's probably still alive. And with Lisa losing her mother, he can identify with that pain. He can identify with that loss. Also, he's coming at it from a genuine place, whereas Carlton is coming at it from a stance of
this will make you like me.
Yeah, what does this do for me? So it's always going to be better if somebody's trying to help you genuinely out of their heart, as opposed to, well, I'm a get you to like me.
For sure, for sure. Tony Robinson said that Reid was looking at new Uncle Phil like, yeah, she yours for now, partner, but you just wait.
Let me catch her. Let me catch that gaze for about a good 30 seconds. You might not have had her.
He was looking like a nut ass freak boy. I'm trying to tell you.
You see the way she was in here rumbling, fumbling, stumbling over her words, trying to say
That's a
my
fact
name.
too.
Yeah, she ain't
For
never
sure.
struggled saying Phil. That's one syllable. Phil, Phil. You know what I'm saying?
Reid is one syllable too.
No, but she stretch it out when she say Reid. She be stuttering so goddamn much it come out about four. Reid.
Yeah. All right. So homeboy with Lucia clearly doesn't realize that he is just that, a homeboy. He is totally lost on what Ashley is thinking. Apparently, he's not the only one that's lost because Ashley doesn't realize that Lucia is actually feeling Will and not her.
That scene was fucking perfect. That scene was perfect. So like homeboy is completely oblivious to what it reminds me as a kid, because I wouldn't have known what the fuck was going on either. I for sure would have thought that I was the Mac Daddy, like I was the man. Like, oh, you need a drink too? What you want some too? I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure would have thought I was the Mac Daddy whole time they nicking on each other. But little does Ashley know that old girl is not really feeling her the way that she's feeling her, and she really wants Will, which is, I think if I was like older, like if I was maybe like 13 or 14, I would have said like, cool, go ahead and flesh that out, and when you realize that he's too fucking old for you, he would never mess with you, I'll be here. But I don't think Ashley thought that far into it. She was just kind of heartbroken that it wasn't a natural feeling or a natural liking back. She didn't immediately.
It's one of those situations where you look at it older, right? And you're like, oh, no, she should be able to just get through that. But you realize she's 12 and it's like, okay, well, this is her first time dealing with this. So, you gotta let her kind of go through that.
I'm glad she ain't hate either. She ain't come and be like, girl, I don't want you, too out. Nah, no hating. No hating.
Ashley shouldn't be too hard on herself because Lucia says, and I quote, Will's got so much swag, he should totally start a YouTube channel. Will Smith wrote swag in that script himself, for sure. No one can tell me any different. Will Smith wrote swag because nobody's saying swag anymore. It's drip.
Bro, listen. That shit was funny. But it was just like, I would have been sitting there looking at her like, are you my cousin? Like my older cousin? Like 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
Like, bruh. But again, that's a part of it is miscommunication as well, because I don't think she from that, it didn't sound like she even knew that, Ashley was rocking with her like that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So, I mean, maybe if she'd have known, she probably wouldn't have let that slip. I'm thinking.
Possibly. Michael Ealy throws down the $15K for the painting anonymously. Mm-hmm. Not to be outdone, new Uncle Phil puts up $20K. Can you imagine a man trying to big dog you and upbid you while in your house?
This is where he fucked up. See, he should have popped off in the room while they was in private and not on the auction pad. Because I believe that when, and it's going to be a win because these things never stay a secret, when she finds out that them niggas fought each other and actually Phil ended up buying the picture, instead of you being able to sit back as Phil, because that's your wife, and your wife, and she wouldn't have wanted to be assisted that way. She would have wanted to get it on her own merit, right? What you could have done was sit back and be like, yeah, babe, look at him, dumbass, over there trying to put money. See, I knew the shit was going to sell. That's why when I seen it, I let the shit go. Because I knew somebody was going to come back and buy it, but I didn't want to be the one because I know you didn't want it that way, babe. See, I know you. Get Blue Jay the hell up out of here. Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out. But see, now you're every bit as culpable as the man that knows nothing about her as a wife, or as a grown woman, but you making mistakes just like him.
But
He slipped
gonna
up.
let bro big dog you in your house for your woman?
You know your wife.
That's a fact.
What's more important? What you know to be true for Vivian or your pride at that moment?
But he didn't even know she was painting. Like, there's some things that she's just not letting him in on.
No. Hold on. We definitely got to have a conversation about homeboy being here. Who the fuck is he? Why didn't I know you was painting? And why he feels so comfortable that he can just walk into these rooms with all willy-nilly? Why you over here? Why you sound like a broke down engine when you telling me his name?
Yeah.
Spit it out, right. Girl. Spit it out. No, we definitely have to have a conversation. But in that instance, he really could have big dogged and just totally taken himself. Only thing he did in that instance by buying that photo is setting himself up for the arguments of all arguments when she find out that he bought it. Because she's going to have all this confidence built up by the fact that she sold that painting. And when she finds out that it really didn't sell for as much as you know what was stipulated in the bet, she's going to be dejected because now she already felt like she wasn't ready. And so this was the confidence boost that she needed to get going, which is fine. But she's going to be pissed at whoever did that because it wasn't honest. It wasn't true. And she's too good of an artist to be, you know, given a handout like that.
Google TV show trope.
Yeah, sure.
New Uncle Phil has another secretive conversation with Jeffrey, aka Agent 47, seemingly about the Times endorsement. New Uncle Phil says, "Forward we march," which we can only assume to mean that he just okayed a hit on the editor at the Times.
No. No.
Bro, he pressed the button.
It seem that way though. Like they are giving mob boss vibes with Jeffrey and Phil, and I do not understand why. Isn't this man a lawyer? Was he a consigliere for some crime family or some shit like that? Like, why is he so like? I'm getting Tony Soprano. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got it. He's the consigliere for the Yardies in Power Book 4, and that's why he has Jeffrey.
That's why he got Jeffrey.
Ashley tells Hillary about her heartbreak. She then reciprocates the "you're a queen" sentiment right back at her, inspiring a bit of confidence in Hillary around the whole Kylo situation, and also giving a nice little touching moment. Any thoughts on that scene at all?
Yeah. Sometimes as a older sibling, you need gas from your little siblings. You know what I mean? You need that gas up. The feeling that make them feel, or excuse me, the feeling that they're looking up to you for inspiration or guidance or some sort. It does kind of pump you up, makes you feel like a superhero. So I could see how that motivated Hillary. Why that motivated her to take her clothes off and start shooting, you know,
all right, man. You
tutorials and
ahead of me in the fucking scenes, all right?
I don't fucking know how we made that leap. I would have thought that would have made her go tell Kylo to fuck off, but clearly it was the exact opposite.
Yikes. All right. Definitely thought Carlton OD'd when Will came to the door. Definitely thought he OD'd, but he didn't. As much as I felt for Carlton in the scene between him and Will, I just can't help but feel that Carlton's going to find some kind of way to piss me off in the next episode.
Oh, for sure. He's for sure going to piss you off again. We're not done with Carlton being a jackass. We're not. And you know why we're not done with Carlton being a jackass? Because, well, we still not. You don't want me to hop ahead, but I mean, it is what it is. He didn't get the stern talking to that he was supposed to.
Yep. After Will subs in for Carlton for the reading, White stepmom wants to do a toast for her own ego at that point. Sounds about White, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Viv, not playing that shit, goes off on her, and Lisa looks like she's loving every second.
She was like, "Oh, finally, somebody saying something to this white woman. God damn." You're like, finally, somebody said it. Yeah, no, she seemed very satisfied. It's like she took the role of Lisa's mom in that instance. So it kind of made you feel good for Lisa. Homeboy not taking control. Like at this point, I probably would have just told everybody we leaving. Like when old girl got her feelings hurt about the speech, That's the cue. All right, we about to get up out of here. We about to
Don't need to
go.
say no more words, nothing. We good.
Lisa, come on. We're leaving. We're leaving right now. Like I already know. It's getting ruffled. Everybody ruffled under the feathers. It's getting hot in here. Now she done got her feelings hurt. Let's get up out of here before it get any worse. Clearly, that's not where his antennas was at.
Polo Boy says, I low-key missed the Ashley and Will relationship, but they replaced it with Hillary, which is a really good point. Really good point.
I think it makes more sense for it to be Hillary. Hillary's like 21 years
old.
Will's 17. He's gonna if we talk in close age ranges, he's gonna gravitate up, not down.
Makes sense.
Ashley,
which he's doing in the show as well.
Yeah, Ashley was a little older, I feel like. But even with that, even in the sitcom, he did have a special relationship with Ashley because Ashley was trying to explore her. She was exploring her blackness, and the only place that she could get that out was with Will. So that's where that part of the relationship is. Right now, Ashley's not exploring her race; she's exploring her sexuality, and so that's why I think her tether has been thrown out to to Hillary. Because obviously that makes more sense than Will for this particular storyline. But I get what he's saying, though. I could definitely identify that.
For sure. Officer Fred lets it be known that he is actually running against new Uncle Phil in the race, and that's why he lost the Times endorsement. Thanks to Jeffrey, he already knew that. So furthermore, new Uncle Phil wants Jeffrey to look into Slapjack, a.k.a. Ricky from Barbershop, a.k.a. Dominic from Think Like a Man, a.k.a. Michael Ealy. Jeffrey says that he's already on the bro. What like?
Now, what you mean you already own it? What you mean, bro? He was in the house. He was walking around. Him and Aunt Viv was having a private conversation. You couldn't have been on it.
I don't know, bro. Jeffrey probably already got something in the plans. Like Rose says in the chat right now, he is that man. Watch.
Hey, you know where Jeffrey been at? Jeffrey ain't been in the streets. Jeffrey been kicking it with old girl, the light-skinned girl with the dread.
Nah, she was at the party. She was at the party.
Right. She showed up to the party after it started and then started looking for Jeffrey as if
she did. I know, because she was thirsty as hell.
Maybe we just left each other and I was expecting to see him here. Maybe I'm late because I just left Jeffrey and I was expecting to see him pull up at the same time I was because I just left him. Only Jeffrey is off doing God knows what because he's supposed to be here kicking Michael Ealy's ass.
So you mean to tell me that during the speech that Lisa gave, Jeffrey was you know what I'm saying,
getting
doing
skins.
work with
getting skins, and by the time she finished and old girl pulled up at the front, Jeffrey was off doing whatever the hell he was doing. Yeah, Jeffrey walked out. Yeah. Smooth. Because doesn't this Jeffrey strike you as one of them I don't want to let everybody know about what I'm doing, my comings and goings kind of guy. Like if he was carrying on with a woman, you probably wouldn't know.
No, it's a fact.
You probably wouldn't know.
That's a fact.
So I could definitely see them already getting getting it in, but he just ain't let it out. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't told everybody.
I agree.
And he probably told her, hey, look, keep this shit on the hush. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell Viv. Don't tell nobody.
That's why she's acting all coy when she's around everybody.
Right.
But everybody don't know that she already... Okay. All right. It makes sense. New Uncle Phil seems to not truly know what's going on with Carlton because he thinks it's just anxiety. If new Uncle Phil was my dad and he had that much time to look around the room before I woke up, he'd have found them drugs.
No longer. You didn't go look in the club. That's what I'm saying.
My dad would have found them fucking drugs.
He's not
by the way, hey
dad. He is not. He's not plugged in. He's not paying attention. He's not paying attention, yo. His attention span is not on his family right now. It's not.
Yeah.
Fam, your son was passed out. When do you pass? Now look, I don't know a whole bunch about anxiety, but when does it make you like pass out for several hours?
It makes you a little tired, but not pass out for no.
Also, another thing, how mad can they be at Carlton for doing the Xanax lines when they let him drink the way that they do? Carlton has been
It's still
drinking
a little weird.
alcohol
Still a little weird.
at his leisure at every family event since the show has started. How
Even
fucking
grab dad
mad
a
can
drink.
you be? Yeah. How mad can you be and your son drinking at family event, every family event y'all done had?
Yeah.
How mad can you really be? But
I mean,
Phil,
drugs are a little bit different than drinking, but
at 17,
drugs are a little different. A little different. I understand the concern. I'm just saying drugs as a whole are a little different than alcohol.
at 17,
I'm not saying one is way better than the other. I'm just saying I'd rather my son drink wine at 17 than snorting lines.
those Xanax. That the context matters.
Snorting lines.
No, the context matters. The context matters. Because if you said he was snorting lines of coke, okay, all right, definitely.
I don't want my son snorting any lines.
What if he was snorting Adderall? You think
I
that's
don't want
worse
my
than
son
drinking
snorting
alcohol?
any lines.
Again, what if it was Adderall? You think that's worse than drinking alcohol at 17? He's going to get drunk. He's going to be more intoxicated off that alcohol at 17 than he is going to be high off of Adderall. You're not even going to get high off Adderall.
Where is the chat on my
You're not
side?
You're not going
to get high. Chat, come defend me right now.
I'm just saying I'm not drawing that big of a distinction when he's that young. You still in high school. You a junior in high school. So it really ain't no difference between you doing recreational drugs and you binge drinking. Like it is at that point, your body's still undeveloped. You know what I'm saying? It's still gonna affect your brain. So like, what's really the difference? And the frequency in which he drinks is also the problem, right? He drinks a lot.
I hear you.
He does.
Those are all concerns.
Only when he has an episode.
Those are all concerns. I'm just saying, I'm not catching my son doing lines, bro. That's not.
I'm also not catching my son drinking in my goddamn house.
That's okay.
Before he's even 18.
But you're not gonna say that snorting lines ain't a little bit worse.
Lines of what? The context of what he's snorting doesn't matter to you?
It
don't matter?
No, it does. I guess hypothetically, I'd rather him do lines of Adderall. You're saying
the shock of seeing your son snorting lines of anything is enough to... What the fuck is going on?
The glass of wine, I'm going to say something like, bro, put my wine back. But lines of Coke or lines of anything.
Fam, yeah, fuck the wine. He's drinking. He's drinking. He was drunk that night at the party where he tried to drown Will. Not off no damn wine.
Pope says they in Whiteyville, drinking as a late teen way more acceptable, which is a fact. Polo Boy says, no, I'm 17 and my white friends drink around their parents.
I must be out the loop, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm my bad.
Again, I'm not even out the loop. I'm not even rocking with drinking at 17. I'm just saying, if there's two things that are happening, I'd much rather it be drinking at 17.
Like, obviously, we all started drinking before 21, but it for damn sure was not in my parents' house in front of them. So I just must be out of that for sure.
And I'm not allowing that to go on in my house either. I'm just the snorting. We're signing you up for rehab immediately. I'm just saying.
Oh, Reid K-Pox comment.
I'm not reading that on the. I'm not reading that.
Shout
on the chat
out to you.
I'm not giving you the bigger head. I'm not giving you the bigger head.
There is definitely a big secret between Aunt Viv, Uncle Phil, and Vi, Will's mom. You can feel it in the air. Amen, brother. Amen. You can definitely. I can smell it.
Your head can't fit in your do-rag right now. It's just swelling.
Jeffrey is a big G. Bel-Air needed a body.
Bel-Air needed a body is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Bel-Air needed a body is nuts.
Woo!
Hilarious.
Oh, man.
Nuts.
Let's see. Bel-Air needed a body. Jeffrey and Phil got secret bodies. Want to know more? Shit. Yeah. It's something.
Definitely possible.
Something is going on.
For sure. Let's wrap up Bel-Air with a couple more. Hillary heats it up in the kitchen. And while this probably will cause some problems in the next episode, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it in this moment. At least for me personally. Coco
There's
Jones got it going.
absolutely nothing wrong with it.
No, because Coco Jones got it going on.
No, she's cold. I'm saying like Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary, that's a little wild, but Coco Jones?
Like, come on, man. Your sister just told you that she was, and she's not watching. But
You never know. She might hit her, you know what I mean, a replay.
Okay, for sure. Replay game. Yeah, okay. Your little sister just told you about how, you inspired her, how you helped her.
How you're a queen.
How you're a queen. And that made you go make an OnlyFans video. You went and did a hot tub stream. You think she's still proud? You think she still think you a queen?
No, probably not.
You just got all the big sis props. You was. Yeah, I'm not attacking OnlyFans workers, man. Get it how you live, man. If I could make that much money, show up my body on OnlyFans, believe I have one. But it's just like that's not your content. And the people that are watching you that fuck with you right now are not watching you because of that. Facts. And so, like, I feel like there's a part in here as a quote unquote content creator where you got to choose a lane. Like, are you looking for views? Are you looking for shock value? You looking to go viral every day? Because I remember as I'm sitting here watching it, and he said that, I was like, well, that's not how that shit work. You can't just go viral every day. And then I stopped. I was like, well, you can. It just depends on what you're willing to do.
You gotta sell your soul, basically.
You literally have to be willing to do the most heinous, outrageous shit. Yeah, black ass brothers for sure. So if you want, that's what your life to be, then that's what you can do. Or you can choose to make, honest content, the shit that you want to make because that's how you feel.
Like us.
Shout out to your boys. The climb is a lot slower, the grind is a lot harder, but it's worth it at the end of the day. So I feel like Hillary chose wrong on this one. This is the first time that we've seen her stumble, mightily, because she just turned a bad situation with the influencer house into a worse situation. Because you don't think homeboy gonna be using that in his campaign ads?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
It's daughter is an online sex worker. Nephew is a cold-hearted criminal from Philadelphia. He gonna start. Son is a drug addict. Wilkes is coming out swinging.
His wife is out with Michael Ely.
He's coming out swinging. But you know what? Even with all of that, I still feel like Phil has the bigger trump card because you cheated on your dying black wife with a white woman.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back from that. You can hang that one up, player, because when that one comes out, it's OV. Now, here's what I would say about that. I feel like Phil and Aunt Viv, between the two of them, one of them is going to have is that really where we want to be? Is that really how we want to win? And they going to hold it back. They're going to be pussy about it.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's definitely going to happen.
I can see that. I can see one of them being like, oh, this isn't who we are, and we got to hold it back. We can't embarrass him and Lisa like that. And then they probably going to end up losing the damn election.
Another TV trope.
Yeah. What they should do is be like, his black ass cheated on his wife while she was on her deathbed, and now he's with Amy.
Amy. That is nuts. Anyway, Will and Lisa share an intimate moment by the pool. Will doesn't throw any shade Carlton's way, no dirty macking, but it seems like they just have the better connection. And then they kiss as my boy Pink Sweat plays in the background.
Man. So, you know what I liked about that scene? That Will didn't have to hash out what was going on prior to that. Like, oh, I wasn't really, I wasn't messing with you because Carlton made me and all this. It's not necessary at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was no dirty macking done whatsoever.
Now that we've seen that Carlton is overwhelmed and that's where a lot of this behavior is coming from, there's no reason to beat it down even more than that. you seen that his advances were not landing with Lisa and she felt awkward enough about it, it was only going to make it worse for everybody involved given that information. So I like that they held that back. It's so many turns that I'm expecting to see from the writing on this show that they're not giving us. And that's what's keeping me so interested. It's very Manila content. It's not anything that we haven't seen in other television shows except for the directions that they're taking, right? They are so anti-trope. They are so anti-trope in this television show, and it's refreshing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no hatred for the black father. There's no idea that the black father needs to be removed for ascension. You know, there's no neglectful black mother. They're you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's void of all of that shit. They're making a good television show without making it about all of the stereotypes that white people want to see in black television shows. And so that's what I appreciate from this production, because it's very antithetical to what you usually see.
I would agree. That is all I got for Bel-Air. Chat, make sure you upload all your thoughts, your questions about what's going on in Bel-Air. I know we got a couple of them that we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, let's get through these questions real quick.
Polo Boy and Pote both say Hillary was on Playboy. Oh, no. Polo Boy said Hillary was on Playboy in the OG one. I forgot about that.
They went to the grotto. They had the whole episode with Hugh Hefner. Yep.
I forgot about that.
Okay. R.I.P. Hugh. I don't know how that compares though. Well, no, she was a TV anchor. She was the weather lady at that point, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I guess it kind of was the same thing. She did Playboy for exposure because she was on TV. She got naked in this one, but it still is just like, where you gonna turn that off, Hillary? Where you going? Because at a certain point, you're not gonna go viral from cooking in your bra. So what's the next step? You gonna be like Camille Winbush?
Yikes! Let's hope not. Hope not.
Damn, Nessa.
What else we got? Pope says, I think Vi took a criminal charge for Aunt Viv. That's what he thinks is a little spat between Viv and Vi.
She took a charge for Aunt Viv. How would that involve Will?
That is a good question. I don't know.
Because whatever it is, whatever they got going on, it involves Will for sure. So I don't know how Will. Maybe she took a charge for it, but see, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not zeroing out anything at this point. The one thing that I know is that they got beef and Will's involved.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So if that works into your theory, then I'm all for it.
For sure. K-Pop says yes, no tropes, love it. It's refreshing.
For sure. I agree. It's nice to see stuff like that going on and it being successful. Right? Like, even if it has to be a little, I enjoyed Black Lightning for the same reasons. Right? Like, even if it's a little corny, even if the subject matter is a little light and they're not digging so deep, it's still good to offset some of this shit that we see where, the black person always has to die, or, the black couple always has to split up, the black child is always without one parent, or, we can't really see, functional couples with black people in them unless they're, multiracial or biracial or whatever. It's devoid of all of that. We don't have to stay in that space to see a good TV show with black people in it. And I'm hoping that other people see this, because that's the nature of Hollywood, is to copy, that this becomes a trend, and not just a blip.
For sure. Marte seems to think that Will is on permanent Dirty Mac because that's his cousin's ex and a family friend. Boy, wildin' as hell.
They was broken up before he ever got there, and she don't like him. So what is he supposed to date in high school? So he's never supposed to date your high school girlfriend because you my cousin? Nah. if they had like dated for some years as adults, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, married. High school relationships don't count.
No, for sure not.
Unless you married your high school sweetheart, which is incredibly rare. They don't count.
I agree. Rose says, I do enjoy seeing the conversations this show creates on social media. It's refreshing.
It's a lot better than, and I hate to say it, but it's a lot better than the conversations that draw from Power. It's a lot better than the conversations they even draw from Snowfall. We're going to get to that when we start talking about Snowfall, because there was some shit in there that pissed me off too. But yeah, definitely good conversation starters.
Last comment, Tony Robinson says Hillary needs to realize that going that route will make people only want to see that kind of content from her.
You're absolutely right. They're gonna put her in a box. And now the extra people that you've gained to your subscribership are going to start expecting that sort of content, just like you said. And now you got to choose. Now you want to drop the growth that you just got to go back to doing what you were doing before and start over? Or do you want to keep feeding the machine?
For sure. I agree. Let's get into Snowfall.